Alex Crooke, manager of Bankers Investment Trust. In the 3 months up to today, which is the 23rd of October, how have global markets been performing?
They've been struggling a little bit, a lot more volatility in markets since the summer months. A lot of markets hit highs in sort of June, July, and actually did not too badly into the early part of September. And then since mid-September, it's been more difficult, more volatile. And I think really just investors have been questioning the growth outlook, particularly seeing a slowdown in Europe. So European markets and the UK as well have been under a shadow and have underperformed. You've seen better performance in America, where growth looks more established, and actually bits of Asia have been very strong. So our China A-share portfolio within Bankers has been probably the strongest performing region in the last 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, so you mentioned the performance of the trust. Is there any more detail you want to add to that?
Yeah, it has good weeks and bad weeks, really. Some sectors have done very well. Things like the media, technology, telecoms have been very strong performers. Others, like industrials, have not been so good. So our view is generally the world is slowly recovering, and I think some of those industrial exposed stocks, particularly into auto companies and into Europe, have been struggling, and therefore we've been seeing some underperformance of those shares. So, we've definitely been performing better than the UK and the European markets because we have America and Japan, and as I said, Asia, which have been performing well. We could do with Europe and UK, helping out the performance a little bit.
So have there been any significant changes to regional allocations, or have you made any new purchases?
There's not been a huge amount of reallocations between regions. What we have done within those regions, though, is concentrate a little bit more on trying to buy the quality companies that have underperformed. So again, looking through, trying to understand which companies have come back. So some of the industrials we've increased in the UK and Europe that we think are very high quality. Things like the aerospace sector, so it still seems to me performing very well. We see record orders out of Boeing. So again, trying to concentrate on stocks that have underperformed. And then elsewhere, I think the emphasis is on just making sure we don't walk into some profit warnings. So again, trying to question, particularly stocks close to the consumer spending has been erratic, and trying to just make sure we don't have those exposures to those stocks.
So finally, Alex, over the next 3 months, what's your outlook for global markets?
I think they can make some progress forward, I would hope, but not aggressively. I think we still need a better operating environment for company profits, and I think we might see that next year. Certainly the ECB in its intervention in the bond market and QE will, I think, get the economy beginning to respond next year. So I think the environment looks a lot better for next year. I think the last quarter of 2014 will still have some challenges with, as I said, some stocks have underperformed and will profit warn, I think, in that period. But I think America looks very solid, the growth there. Asia, I think, is responding well as well, and cheap valuations. So I think we'll make up for better performance in some of those regions. Again, the great benefits of a global trust is we can find, hopefully, these opportunities in other markets. But UK and Europe, they look very cheap. They just need hopefully some better performance from the central banks, and hopefully a bit more lending to come through the system.
Alex Crooke, thank you.
Thank you.